Busy. We were saving and setting up businesses. We built this when we were not yet wedded. We bought the place where NUP office is when we were still not married. We bought Busabala when we were not married. We built Magere when we were not married. Everything, most of the things we have, we put them in place before we got married because we felt like the money we would have used for our wedding, we just needed to put it somewhere more more visible, and so we could have results. So you milk out whatever you can, whenever you can, and then you want to be sure that you have used your time well. Bobby Wine is the backbone of who I am today. We're friends before anything else. He is my companion. He is my confidant. He is someone who I learn from every day. Bobby is first of all my friend. I consider him my best friend because there's nothing he doesn't know about me. We're friends before anything else. So he is my friend, he is my loyal friend, and he is my companion who became my husband and the father to our 4 beautiful children. He is my confidant, and he is someone who I learn from every day. He is one of my very few mentors. Bobby Wine is the backbone of who I am today because he has influenced me in so many ways and polished me and improved me. So the product you see here is the handwork of Bobby Wine himself. Because we've been together for a long time, 21 years now. So what you see is what he has been molding year by year. So that's who Bobby Wine is to me. We met on stage at the National Theatre. We had a play we were acting in, both of us. The play was titled Lady, Will You Marry Me? And he was acting as the president, acting as the first lady. He was the cat, I was the mouse. It was a political play, actually. It was about different tribes of people who come together to try and work together for the good of their nation. So the cat family tried to entice the rat family that, you know, we can work together for the good of democracy and improve our country, our animal kingdom. So I was a representative from the rat family. He was the representative from the cat family. We ended up getting married. Unfortunately, he ate me because cats can never be left with mice. It is just something, it shows a failed democracy. It shows a failed state. It shows a people who have failed to come together to make things work. So we met on stage, and it was a political situation when we met. With my family, there was no big problem at all because my aunties married people from different tribes. Both of them married people from the northern part of Uganda. So we had broken the chain of tribalism in our family. So I had no problem with the family at all because we had my cousins marry from the Banyankole setting. We had our sisters marry, the Bachiga marry. So it was okay. But then, of course, there is not the whole public has overcome tribalism. And that is, we are talking 21 years ago. So there was this clash of how do you marry a girl from the West, as if we don't have Baganda girls here. The one who doesn't know how to kneel, the one who doesn't know our language, the one who can't cook our food. They believed I couldn't cook their food, yet there is no difference at all. So there was some rubbing, but because what we had before was friendship, nothing else could break our bond. Because every time we got a challenge that was in connection with the tribal differences and the background differences, we first handled it as friends. Like his background, he's from the ghetto, he was different. He's a town child, I'm a village girl. I know a homestead has a father, has a mother, you have siblings, okay? And then you go home, by 4 you're home, you don't leave the house without saying where you're going. You meet a neighbor in the way they have the right to say, go back and put on a longer dress, that dress is so short. And then meeting someone who is freelance, goes home when they want, leaves when they want, tells nobody, does his things the way he wants, and is not, no one is entitled to ask him where he's going, where he's coming from. That was different. So the public opinion was like, how will these two manage to be together? Because they're different. Each one of them knows different life. But, you know, unlike poles attract. Some of the things I knew later, after we had even been friends. So we sat and talked about them. Because the person I loved was not the face, was not the dreadlocks, was not the BOBI WINE. I loved Robert. It is later that I got to know that he was a musician. I didn't know. He sang. There was a hit going on. It was called Kagoma. People at home played it on radio. I didn't know who the artist was because I was not interested. That was not my field. But then when he came to visit me at home, they told me that's BOBI WINE. I said, okay, what does it mean? They said, he's the one who sang the song Kagoma, the one which we listen to a lot. And I'm like, okay, so what do musicians do when they sing these songs and they play on radio? What's the benefit? Like, they say they make shows, big shows, they go on stage, like Lucky Dube comes in, and I'm, oh, interesting. So we had to talk about it and understand. I knew it was his source of income. I knew that was part of talent because we were drama. So seeing the part of music in drama is not strange. So I had to relearn the new BOBI WINE, but that did not rub off the Robert I knew. Because this, being an actress, I knew this is a face you have for stage. It is a lifestyle you have for your work, but there is the real you.
How has your husband's calls to join politics inspired you as Barbie to follow him?
In the beginning, it was hard. I always felt like it is not worth it. It is not worth breaking your limbs. It is not worth getting you imprisoned. It is not worth losing our people. Our driver died for no reason. I felt like it was not worth it. But after the Arua saga, and after I went to Makindye and saw him and how they had beaten him and what he looked like, that's the day I decided that I am going to push through with him. Because then I realized that he was doing the right thing. Otherwise, nobody would be mistreating him if he was doing something wrong. They were trying to silence him. And intimidation doesn't work for me naturally. Naturally, if you want to deal with me, don't intimidate me. If you intimidate me, that's just the beginning of our challenge. So I knew that he was doing something right and somebody out there was terribly scared. So I said, how about we become team? I am the one who reminds him he has a program to do that has to deal with making the dictatorship fall. I am the first person every day. If there is a culprit, I am here.
Do you share the same concerns with him in the political arena?
I was politically dormant. My parents were politically dormant. I had never seen politics in our family. We had, our uncle was just an LOC chairman. I even wrote about the experience I had on the voting day in one of my books because it was something exciting, but it was not in our blood. So politics was so far away from us. Meeting him, I didn't think I could bring something I didn't know. But their family is political, way, way back from his great-grandparents. One of them was one of the founders of DP. One of them was the Kabaka's Katikiro long ago. His father was in prison and in exile for political reasons. His brother had been contesting politically. So his family is very political. I did not need to be the one to introduce politics to him. It is in his blood. I could only be a recruit.
How has your journey been like so far in your political career?
As you can see, there is a big difference. He's not singing anymore. He's not allowed. The state stopped him from singing from here. That's why whenever he has a concert, it has to be outside Uganda. So that means our finances from that area are cut off. Our businesses are not functioning to the extent that they were functioning then. That means we have a limit. You have been there, you saw what was there. It's typically, yeah, and what it was before, it's typically empty. Our children are more cautious. They are more alert about the politics of the country and the world at large. Our conversations at home have changed. We talk politics, regardless of who is there. Even Suvi herself, she knows what's happening in Iraq. She knows what's happening in Ukraine. She knows why Besigye was tear gassed yesterday. But the time is not enough anymore. We don't have so much family time anymore. We do not have family holidays as we used to anymore. We now portion ourselves. You go and deal with these ones, I'll go and deal with these ones. If we have like events happening on the same day, yet then we'd go together as one big family. But because time is not enough, we have to portion the little time we have with us. We have on our hands. But we do not regret it. It is our ripe time. This is our youthful days. This is when we are most useful to the country. And if we cannot add a brick on this, then later in our old age, we will feel guilty for never doing anything to improve our situation. Situka is a song that does not grow old. And it's a song that I would rather listen to every morning, because this duty of being on the opposition in these times in Uganda, you have to be encouraging yourself every minute. So you have to remind yourself to get up and just go and do what you have to do. So Situka is my song.
Have you ever written a song for him, or has he consulted you over the lyrics he should include in his song?
I've never, but I've written so many notes and so many poems and so many nice things for him.
So most of his songs that he composed himself.
Yes, and it comes naturally. He just goes to studio without a pen, without paper. He says, put on the sound, and then he sings. He comes home with a song. He writes the lyrics later, but in the mixing and in the final touches, that's when I say, maybe change this word, or we can't hear you. You need to be more audible. Maybe change the sound here. Maybe this is harsh, just make it lighter. Or maybe if he has different languages, he wants to change the songs too. The languages I know, I help. But the song is never released without my contribution. Whichever song it is, even the bashing songs, even all of them, I've had a contribution. And in the past, like 6 years, I've been on set for all the videos. Most of the videos I have single-handedly directed, just because I don't want my name added on the credits and things like that. But yeah. I am doing politics from the corner where I am. And if we just made public what I do, I think I'm very active politically. Anywhere, we have one picture in our house, and that's our wedding picture. It's a portrait. It's the only one we have there. The others are in a room. Like there are many just hang there, but there is only one that you see when you come to our home, unless we take you to that section where the other pictures are. But that's our wedding day picture. Our wedding came 10 years after we had met each other. So it was a day of celebration entirely. So we remember that day because we were happy, we wanted it, and we wanted to celebrate our love. And so it's a memorable day. We were busy. We were saving and setting up businesses. We built this when we were not yet wedded. We bought the place where NUP office is when we were still not married. We bought Busabala when we were not married. We built Magere when we were not married. Everything, most of the things we have, we put them in place before we got married, because we felt like the money we would have used for our wedding, we just needed to put it somewhere more visible, and so we could have results. And since we were friends, no one was worried of the other leaving them. No. It was just us. We were putting every single coin that we were making. And because we knew that the music industry here is short-lived. So you milk out whatever you can, whenever you can. And then you want to be sure that you have used your time well. So 10 years after is a good timing. You say, you know what? We put in place what we have, I may be an artist for many more years. I may not, but at least what we have now. We can celebrate. So it's a matter of just looking for what is priority. Way long when I was a young child, growing up, we grew up in a big community where our family was doing a bit well than most of the people around us. So I grew up watching my mother pulling many young women and wanting them to be on the same level, even with her. And then I saw my father serving the community as a doctor. So I grew up wanting to be of use to the community where I would finally end up. So that I wake up every day wanting to leave a mark of in our community, leave a mark somewhere. Barbie did that. That happened because Barbie did it. So that later when I'm gone, I'll have a legacy of she was of importance wherever she went and wherever she lived. So I wake up every day to be of good use to our community. Not entirely to myself and my family, but to the community where I belong in that period. My contribution is entirely on we must leave a mark. When we came, what did we do? Can they still put a finger on what we did and say, they came, they did this, and they left? So my contribution is basically to leave a good mark, leave a step where the others who are coming after us will start from and go ahead, not to rebuild from scratch. Yeah, because we just began. We are here until we achieve what we think Ugandans deserve, and that is justice, and that is human rights, respect for human rights, and that is respect for democracy and the rule of law. So just to live a sane country. And the funny thing? People never get to separate his personality for only those who need to see it. And he's a good actor. He's a good musician. So he knows which face to pull out where. He's like talented in those areas. He doesn't give you his speciality if you don't deserve it. That's why he keeps people wonder why he keeps the same friends. Now, Eddie Mutwe for 30 years, they've been friends. How? Eddie knows more things about him than the well-learned politicians. That's not Bobby. Bobby is a very loyal person. If he has let you into his circle, it's going to be really hard to get it. But when you see him out here and he is just acting and talking reckless, you would say he doesn't value anything in life. I'm telling you, he was the one pushing me to go to school, actually. So he got himself out of the bracket. So he helps me in most of the things. If you had children, he'll make sure, if he can, he'll help you see that their homework is done, see that when the school needs a parent, he's there. If there is a problem at home, he tried and dealt with it in his own power. He was the force behind. He actually is the one who applied for me for that master's. I kept dragging my feet. We are busy. I have to help you. He didn't bother. He just took my university credentials, made an application, and brought me an admission. I said, your admission is here. Now let's see what you're going to say and give us an excuse for not going to school. Never understand it because they think he's busy, he's doing too much, and he has no time for us. No, he has that time set out for us. Even in the middle of the campaign today, and you think he has forgotten it, they are tear gassing them, and then he calls you. Has the headache gone down? Have you seen the doctor? Wait, you are the one in the middle of the tear gas right now. My silly headache shouldn't be a problem at the moment. So yeah. That's how politics works. There's a time when recently they were saying somebody stood on different platforms in the media and said they had gone with me to State House. They have pictures of me with them in State House. If I walk up and went to court and asked them for evidence, that person would come asking for forgiveness, But then you don't want to give them the chance of feeling like they got your attention. It is the politics. That's how things work. Smear campaign. Whoever smears the other better takes the day. So that's how it works. If you don't learn it, then you're not understanding the field you're playing in. I have never seen a finger raised at me. I have never been called names by him. I think I'm the most spoiled wife in this country. And I keep telling my children, even with Bobby, I worry for my children. They will think all marriages are like mine and his. Then they will go with this kind of standard for a wife or a husband, and I am worried they will be disappointed because there are not so many marriages you find that are like ours. It is 1 in a million. And I can't say that's what a marriage looks like at a bigger scope. No, ours is really different.